Okay. Oh, I chose to lay down to do this. This was not the best plan. First off, first thing that you'll notice, no, I'm wearing one nail glove on one hand. Second, no, I'm not wearing eyelashes. So what I want to talk about today are some very important things. These are my fundamental truths. The truths that I live by every day. The truths that keep my morality intact. But I'll start out with my first and most basic one. Radiohead is not a good band. They're just kind of moaning noise. It's like listening to whale sounds but slower and with a terrible drum beat. It's as if you put a recording device in a walrus cave during mating season. And I don't want to hang out with the people who decide that Radiohead is their favorite band. That's like saying breathing air is good. That's like saying your favorite drink is water. Radiohead is not a good band. In Rainbows? That was an album? I thought I just found myself trapped in the middle of a heater. And that odd dance that Tom York does. I was slipping to a groove and cut me out. What is that? The first people that saw Tom York dancing and didn't call an ambulance for a seizure victim should be put in jail. I think at some point people thought it was endearing and then they realized he was serious, and that's when the problems began. Next fundamental truth of life. Asian food markets smell like fish. This is true. This is no exception. If you walk into an Asian market and do not immediately smell fish, you walk 2 aisles over in either direction, I guarantee you it will hit you. I don't know what traditional Asian dish is made from the scraped up fish remains on the bottom of a pond, but every single Asian market I've ever been in has had the overwhelming smell of fish crawling into my nose. And I love Asian markets. It is the only place I can get bulk oolong tea at a reasonable price. I can find dried shrimp there, and I know that that's not what's causing the smell, unless they dry it in-house. I don't expect to go to any grocery store and feel like I'm trapped in the middle of lobster intercourse. Maybe there's an Asian food market out there that doesn't smell like an Episcotarian cafeteria after a food fight, but I just don't know. I'm running out of places to go for my oolong tea. The fact that you haven't written your congressman is a problem. Alright, next fundamental truth. Joss Whedon is not a good writer. And this I am so passionate about. I don't think he's bad. He has a perfect, fundamental grasp on the basics of being a human. He writes his characters to be able to breathe. He writes his characters to eat. He writes his characters to have every functional ability of a human being and sometimes have emotion. But I'm sorry, if you want me to go through Firefly and explain Mal's character, Mal cares about his crew. Period. Point blank, period. There's nothing else to him. He's uninteresting, he's bland, and the entire show is boring. Buffy is boring. Sarah Michelle Gellar is a bad actress. One-liners are terrible. Secondary characters are obnoxious. The world building is terrible. I understand you may think Joss Whedon is God's gift to screenwriting 101. It may just be that I went to film school, and I had to sit in advanced narrative with a specific professor who had the biggest hard-on for Joss Whedon you've ever seen. Maybe it's the fact that this professor had some unacknowledged feelings toward Joss Whedon. Maybe he'd been hiding this since high school and Joss Whedon just brought something out in him. Maybe if my professor had just come out early, I wouldn't feel as if Joss Whedon invaded my life in such a terribly crushing way. Like a slug attempting to have sex with you. It's uncomfortable, it's slimy, and it lasts forever. Maybe it's the fact that we had to sit down and write a 1-page paper on Mal. I care about my crew. I want my crew to be safe. My crew is my family. Not a great impression, I know. I know that she's your wife. I think you should understand that this is just a friend relationship. Look, a man and a woman in a show together don't actually have to have a romantic relationship. Look at us redefining the genre. Revolutionary. Cabin in the Woods was the only good thing, legitimately good thing, that he's ever had a hand in. Don't even get me started on the Avengers. Brings up my next point. Marvel has never made a good movie. I know all of these seem really negative, and that's because my parents never hugged me as a child, but these are true, and we need to accept them or else society will fall. Marvel has never made a good movie. They make competent movies. The lighting is fine, the color correction is the music is the acting is there. They got people to recite lines. There are a few examples, like in the editing of Iron Man, introducing Iron Man's character. Unfortunately, Tony Stark couldn't come to the stage tonight. His regret is tenfold, or something like that. I don't remember the line. Give me a break. And then it cuts to him rolling dice in a casino, having the time of his life. There are small, subtle things that Marvel does, but it is in an ocean of mediocrity. Competence does not equal good. If I'm a manager at a Walgreens and I see Bertha over in aisle 4 stacking one can of Pepsi on top of each other in a competent way, I'm not going to give her a promotion over Janice, who's hauling it in on a forklift every morning. What films do I like? Post-World War II Japanese cinema. I'm a Kurosawa lady myself. I don't want something that's going to reinvent the wheel every time. I'm just asking you to use the tools that you have. Use editing. Use your camera. 90% of shots in Marvel movies are just shot, reverse shot of a slight track. Usually a medium shot. Usually a bust shot. That's it. It's basic, classic Hollywood coverage. I've talked way too much about this at length. Moving on. I don't think we need to say excuse me anymore. Why on earth do I have to draw attention to all of the sounds my body makes? I don't think I should have to excuse myself for something my body does naturally. I don't want anyone acknowledging my sneezes. Every time I pee, I don't have to say bless us, O Lord, and these I guests. Actually, no, that's a new rule. Every time you get my name wrong, you have to sing Our God is an Awesome God in its entirety. Don't acknowledge the noises I make. I try to make myself as unapproachable as possible. The last thing I need is an excuse for someone to open up conversation. Oh, bless you. You sneeze, I sneeze too. Looks like someone spilled the pepper. Yup, it sure is allergy season. Bless you. I'm allergic to cats, but I have 5 of them because I don't want to live alone. Okay, another fundamental truth. Thwarps are too much. You know what I'm talking about, fans. It is the most aggressive thing you can do to a human being, aside from shooting them in the face. There should be a subsection of assault for people who do this. Honestly, we have central air. Why do we need these? No one needs to open a fan so viciously that they're willing to risk sending every single 90-year-old woman within earshot into cardiac arrest. But I think that's everything I have for now. Those have been some of my fundamental truths that help me get through the day, help me figure out what I need to get for groceries, help me when I'm having a crisis of faith, the Jesus take the wheel scenario, whenever I'm in IKEA and I don't know how to get out. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Jody's Time on Camera. I should think of a name for this.